Support for today's episode comes from Dame Products. You know, the rose is still the talk of the town, but I'm telling you, Dame has something better. The air creates thrilling pulses of air and a soft seal around your clitoris so you can go all the way right away. The opening is bigger and the material is a bit more squishier so you can access more, because you know your clit is more than that little button, right? All right. But as a Booney Breakdown listener, you can receive 10% off your purchase by using the code Booney10. That's Booney10, all capital letters. Details on how to purchase can be found in the show notes and on thebooniebreakdown.com. Hey y'all, it's your girl Booney, and you're listening to the Booney Breakdown podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. All right. Welcome to episode 215 of Booney Breakdown podcast. We're here for another episode. We have our problematic fave, Brian. He came to the rescue. COVID is back with a vengeance. And so the guest I was going to record with had to reschedule because they had COVID, and Brian answered the call. We have a good conversation. He sends his condolences to Kevin Samuels. We talk about hoochie daddy short, sex injuries, and we had an interesting conversation because Brian does not feel like energy, chakras, crystal, none of that shit is real. And so, you know, we get there later in the conversation, so you want to stick around for that. All right, we're going to hop right into my pick of the week. I need you guys, because I haven't heard much chatter about this, and I need someone to talk to. The Staircase on HBO Max. Really good. It's a limited series, so it's only going to be one series, but it's about Michael Peterson, and this is back a while ago. He he went to trial for killing his wife, and so we're watching the series, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, did he kill his wife? I don't know. Yeah, he killed her. But it's so good. They are acting, Toni Collette, Colin Firth. So I need more people to watch this because I want to talk about it. And so I've just been conversing on Twitter because I didn't know anybody in real life or IG life or Ratcheteer gang who was watching it. So y'all check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think he did it. I think it's maybe 2 more episodes left in this limited series, but so far, really, really amazing acting.
Housekeeping. Come back later, please. Housekeeping. Not now.
All right. Housekeeping feedback from last week's episode 214, Live Your Best Whole Life with Scotty Unfamous. Got to shout out the UK Ratcheteers. You showed out. This episode charted really, really high over in the UK this week. So thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you all also for putting up with my British accent. It was fun to do that with Scotty, but I did get this note. Oh my God, Booney, I was cracking up with you trying that British accent. It was cute for a second though, but you're right. The Brits say fuck so much better than we do. However, I did agree with the conversation that you and Scotty had surrounding speaking up for your pleasure, because you better be damn sure these men would let you know if your sex was trash. So sis, tell him he's not eating your pussy right. Tell him he's not stroking your pussy right, and you'll be all the better for it. Love you, Booney, for always bringing up these conversations. So again, if you have not checked that out, head on back to last week's episode, Live Your Best Whole Life. Also, we need some air horns. Booney Live New York tickets are on sale now for everyone. Ratcheteer Gang has scooped up what they were getting, but now the tickets are on sale now. You can head on over to the BooneyBreakdown.com/live. That show is taking place in New York City. We're in motherfucking Manhattan on the Lower East Side, all right? Saturday, August 13th. Yes, Saturday, August 13th, we're in New York. So again, you can head on over to the BooneyBreakdown.com/live to get those tickets. Also there, you'll find tickets for our Booney Live Baltimore show, which is Saturday, July 23rd. Tickets are on sale. You guys are moving those. It's amazing. I love you. I'm so excited for these shows. And if you head on over to that website, you will also see now that there is a date. We are doing Booney Live Raleigh. Now I'm not gonna give the date yet because I don't say it until I sign a contract. Ratcheteer Gang has a potential date, but we will be doing the Booney Breakdown live North Carolina in Raleigh, Durham area. All right. So I can tell you it'll be in October. So if that narrows it down for you. All right. I know it's homecoming season, but fuck a homecoming. It'll be homecoming next year. So again, just head on over to the Booney Breakdown live. No, thebooniebreakdown.com/live to get your tickets to the shows. I can't wait to see you all this summer. All right. Now, if you've been listening for a long time and y'all be sending me so many kind words, I did a contest that I did not win, but you guys sent in some amazing love letters. And someone says, if you want the realness, the Booney Breakdown does not hold back. Adrienne is a phenomenal podcaster, and I know her podcast will grow exponentially if she was awarded this sponsorship money from a secret admirer. Now, I did not win, but I read every single love notes that you guys sent in for that podcast contest. So I just want to thank you guys so much. They were so warm and so amazing, and it's always nice to see what people think about you. And so if you sent one in, but you've never publicly did a rating for me, you can do one of those just like in Spotify and Apple Podcast app. You can just hit those 5-star ratings. I know I said that in last week's episode. I just found out that you can rate podcasts in Spotify, which was news to me. So I saw a handful of you went over there and hit those 5 stars. So all you got to do in both apps, we'll start with Spotify first. Even if you subscribe and you follow over there, you have to search the Booney Breakdown, right? Go to the page, and where it says those 5 stars, you click it. It says a star. You click it. It says rate show. You hit 5 stars. Bam, you're done. That's it. If you're an Apple Podcast app, very similar. All you have to do, open your app, search the Booney Breakdown, scroll where it says ratings and reviews, hit those 5 stars. You're done. That's it. Takes 30 seconds for both apps, and I appreciate it and love all of the support. All right. If this is your first time listening, welcome. You can follow us over on Instagram and Facebook at The Booney Breakdown. You can follow us on Twitter at Booney Breakdown. You can follow us on TikTok at The Booney Breakdown. You can share this episode in your Insta story. You can put it in your group chat with your friends. You can DM me and tell me, you know what, Brian on some fuck shit again. You can do all of those amazing things. And I tell you, if your page is open, I respond, I share, I put it in my Insta story, and I thank you for spreading the word. All right. So that is it for me. So let's get ready to break it down. Hey, y'all, it's your girl Booney, and problematic fave to the rescue.
That's what I do. That's what I do. If you need somebody that's going to be there for you, you can always count on me.
Stand up guy. If you're on Patreon gang, you get to see the thirst trap that I'm looking at right now.
It's no thirst trap. I literally never have a shirt on in the house. That's just my whole thing. I've been on so many different episodes with no shirt on.
It's funny. No one on Patreon gang has mentioned that, but I bet you this time they will.
It's nothing to see.
His words, not mine. How are you, friend?
Nothing to see here. I am great. Life is good.
That's good. I want to offer you my condolences.
What happened?
Your leader, Kevin Samuels, is gone.
Oh my God. He was never my leader. If anything, he stole everything from me, which I think if you go back and look at who might have logged in and listened to the show, at some point, Kevin seen what we were doing and took a little bit away from that and made it his own thing. So that's where I think, I was Kevin Samuels before Kevin Samuels. I tell people that all the time.
I mean, you truly were. So shout out to all the people who were, still hurt. I did ask Brian, y'all, because I was showing all people getting the tattoos. And I asked, was he going to add Kevin to his freedom fighter thought leg?
I'm not going that far, but I do think that Kevin Samuels had his place in the society, and he will go down as an era right after the pandemic. So there's like 2 BCs, like there's before Christ, and then there's like, and then there's before COVID. So Kevin Samuels comes after the before COVID, and we will remember that moment in time where he started to set women straight. And people, I cannot like, I don't even argue with people about this anymore. The reason why people don't like what he said was because, one, they never listened to what he said. Everything he said was based around a woman who wanted to be with a high value man. And he started with the statistics of how many men make over a certain amount. And it's only like 8% of these men in the black community or whatever he said. The whole point was, why do you think you deserve to be kept or have this type of man? And when women would call up and talk about how many kids and how many kids' fathers and all that stuff, he would definitely mess with them. Because I still feel like that does not eliminate or evict you from the race of having a high value man because of your prior relationship mistakes or who got you pregnant and you kept the baby versus the lady who had 3 abortions and now she's high value ready. I don't believe in that, but I feel like people walked up that tree for him to smack them down. And then as an audience, we either felt seen or attacked based off of certain things he said, and it became he was this bad person.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I think I might shock a few people here. I think a lot of what he said when I was having private conversations with problematic fave, with responsible fave, with niggas I was fucking, they all said the same thing. The nigga's not lying, right? Like at the core of his message, what he was saying, most men agreed with. Facts. So I think for a lot of the outrage stemmed from people being triggered, right? Because a lot of his messaging was, you fat, you average, you're not a bad bitch, you too old, you a leftover, nobody wants you, right? And I think a lot of what he was saying was tapping into those little thoughts that be in the back of people's heads. I'm too fat, men don't want me. I'm ugly, a guy don't want me. I'm too old. Like, so I feel like that's where the outrage came from, because he tapped into those places that triggered people to those thoughts that they didn't want to think about themselves. And so, yes, his delivery was kind of fucked up sometimes, but we also have to remember these people were calling in for this. Like, he just wasn't randomly picking people off the internet to say, let me tell you about yourself. People were calling in for his advice. So yes, I did not always agree with his delivery.
But I feel like that's part of what we do, right? So the problematic fave wouldn't be so problematic, or the fave, if I didn't give you what I give you. I'm not Kevin Samuels raw, but I give you all the truth. You know, like I just was telling my mother about the podcast, and I was like, Ma, sometimes I got to tell these women what the fuck they need to hear and not what they want to hear. And she was just like, can you do that? And I'm just like, Ma, like you just, you know, I don't hold no punches. But, you know, it's real, because it's like, if I really wanted to like go all the way shock value, in the sense that I was trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like maybe like unauthentic, or like Booney, like, all right, so what we going to do is I'm going to just start being ignorant as fuck from day one. Like I'm not going to be me. I'm being me all the time. But Kevin Samuels could have basically said, like, I'm going to do this. It's going to piss some people off, but it's going to make me some money. And he made a lot of money doing what he did.
I think I didn't watch the clip, but it was circulating on Twitter where there was some clip from like 5 years ago before he blew up, where his audience was really just men. And he kind of said his own words. It was like, well, I bet you if I changed the whole format of the show and was telling women about themselves and dogging out women, I'm going to blow up. And that's what he did. But it was also kind of eerie the week after he died. I don't know if you watch Atlanta. Do you watch Atlanta?
No.
So on Atlanta, the week after he died, he was the main character of this episode on Atlanta. And it was really funny. So the premise, like, I don't know, the Atlanta this season has been doing kind of like Jordan Peele, Black Mirror type episodes where it's not focused on the main characters of the show, but they'll do these things. And so it was this boy who was mixed, but he was passing as white at school. And Kevin Samuel shows up as like a an alum of the school, and they tell all the seniors to go to the school to like the cafeteria or some shit. And Kevin Samuels is like, I'm going to pay for college for everybody. And all the seniors are like, yeah. And he's like, oh, all the black kids. And so they show this little boy who's been passing as white because he couldn't afford the school he wanted to go to. So now he's confronted with going to be black. And so they were having like these panels to judge the kids, to judge their blackness. And Kevin Samuels is one of the people. But the shit was funny as fuck. And it was just really eerie that it was the week after he died.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that whole thing was crazy. I think the outrage for me was people celebrating that. And to see people celebrate death, there's very few people. I think R. Kelly death would be celebrated.
Yeah.
It's some people, but it's just like, I don't think Kevin Samuels to the point hurt anyone physically or did some damage to people to where people should be like, yeah, he's a really bad person. Like, it was just like, damn, like he hurt, like he hurt you that bad. Like, yeah, fuck that motherfucker. And yeah, he got what he had coming. Like, I don't think he was out here killing people. Like, you know, like, yeah, he said this, he said that. Watch what the fuck you say next time. Yeah. I'm like, really? But that's it's
an interesting space we live in these days. But, you know, I think it was just stunning and shocking. When I first saw it, I didn't believe it. Like, oh, that's some bullshit. But then I was like, oh shit, it's real. I do think it's the way he died is a little ironic because I was waiting for me. This is just me.
So did they ever say what happened? Like, I don't keep
I think it was just like, you know, some woman called it in. They were like fucking, and he had a heart attack on top of her.
So I thought he woke up and like complained of chest pains and fell on top of her.
Yeah, but she went down to the concierge and got the machine, and it didn't work. She called 911, and that was it.
So he basically, yeah, I mean.
But I thought the twist was going to be when they said it was someone with him. I thought it was going to be a nigga.
Oh, man, I never thought that. But you know what's crazy? Like, if I had to choose a way to go out, that's how I want to go out.
You want to go out dying with being fucked or after fucking?
I hope I'm not being fucked. I hope I'm doing the fucking. But yeah, I mean, if I'm in the midst of having sex and I die, like that's some nice shit to go out to.
So would you want to die like in the act or like after your orgasm, during the orgasm? Like how does this work? How do you envision this?
As I'm coming, like I envision it like
you're coming and then you're like, oh Elizabeth, I'm coming.
like I'm coming and it's like my eyes rolling back in my head and she like.
That is terrible.
And I'm like, God damn, that's a big ass nut. And all of a sudden, like I'm still like kind of like going, but I'm done. And it's like I just collapse over. And she like, boy, wake up. And I'm like, dead.
Let me tell you.
Like I'm like dead.
I would freak out because like, what if your dick is still in me? Like, and you're nutting and dying.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
Now I got dead nigga dick in me.
Like at that point.
Oh, wait a minute. Rigor mortis dick might feel good. Like if it's real stiff. Okay, let me stop. My brain goes to twisted places. But like a stiff, hard dick feels good. Like what if the dick gets that hard? Okay.
What?
You talk about dying in the pussy. That's where my brain went.
Let's move on. For your ADHD kick in.
That was too much. But no, I was really just, I mean, I know it takes a couple hours for that to kick in, right?
I will believe so. Thank you.
I mean, I thought you knew this. You know everything.
I do know everything. I know a little bit of everything. I do that. I do.
I'm waiting for you to say you are a fucking mortician soon.
No, I'm not.
The man of many trades.
No.
Look, are you ready? Are you ready for Hoochie Daddy season? Are you participating in Hoochie Daddy season?
I've been wearing the 5-inch Nike shorts before Hoochie Daddy season was a thing.
I can attest.
So I like working out. I love working on my legs. I love feeling like as a man of 250 pounds, 240, 250, I'm not walking around with little ass legs. So I feel like that's important that your legs have girth as much as like your upper body. You don't want to look like, you know, like this big, you know, you got to have good legs. I feel like that's important as a man. Like your chest, back, legs, those things are important. There's too many men out here with like little legs. So I work on that. So then I want to show them off. I want to have on something comfortable, like some shorts and some.
Brian will have on coochie cutters with his thought leg out.
Well, you know, I wear the Nike compressions underneath them. And then I just have on some
we
little
talked about, well, not on the pod, we talked about this privately because I felt like he'd be doing his little thirst trap workout videos. And I'd be like, how come you should just take off the little coochie cutter shorts and just wear your compression shorts? And he said, no.
I did before. And they told me that I couldn't work out like that in the gym.
Really?
They did. They did.
Shut up.
I did. 2019. That was my thing. I used to go in there with straight like shorts on. I start working out and I would just take the shorts off, t-shirt off, hoodie off.
Somebody complained.
I was straight be in just my, you know, compressions, Nike compressions. I don't know if it was a complaint. It was more of like, the girl came around the corner and she was like, no, like, so, you know, that type of thing, like at the gym, like this girl saying it, like, you can't work out like that. So after I fucked her, she was like, you can't work out like that no more because I don't want the other girls in there to see what's going on. And she's like, you know, like one of the girls that already had prompted her, like, go around the corner, like he's in there working out, like no shirt on, no, like, go look.
Let me find out problematic fave in there.
It was a thirst trap. That was a thirst trap. I set it up perfectly. It worked.
And it worked.
It worked. I mean, that was strategic as fuck. Like I literally said to myself, like, all right, how are we gonna get this woman's attention?
Success.
And it worked. It worked.
A dick print and compression shorts will work.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think I'm necessarily sold on this hoochie daddy shorts because like how you wear it is fine, but like really just somebody out with a 5-inch seam short. I think I'm still on gray sweatpants. That's enough for me.
So when you
I guess also because
like
legs don't turn me on. I'm a shoulders back girl. So
yeah,
put a
but
tank
I feel
top
like
on.
most guys don't even have the legs to wear short shorts. Like you got to really like, you know, like from riding bikes and stuff like that, like my quads and my calves and stuff like that. You know, I got tattoos on my legs, but like most guys, like you look at them, you working out with them, they don't have the legs to really match like the upper body. Like that's the one thing people always like, never skip leg day. Well, a lot of you are. And it's crazy because I'm about to have to skip leg day for a while. I have to show you later, but I fell in the gym yesterday. I didn't fall. I was coming off the pull-up bar and I stepped on a dumbbell and I sprained my ankle. It was so
You're
bad.
too old for this shit.
I know. So I got like a brace on my ankle.
You're too old to be falling. Like falling post 35 will fuck you up.
I didn't even hit the ground. I didn't even hit the ground.
A simple trip will
that
fuck you up.
That fucking ankle roll. When that ankle rolled, I was like, bitch. Son of a fucking bitch. Fuck. Like I was like going off and then it was just like, I tried to put some like weight on it. It was just so bad. It was just like, oh my God. I walked in the patient first this morning. I was like, please don't let this be broken. I got a vacation coming up.
Well, that happened to me. I wasn't cool. I did not. I literally tripped up the steps in my house and I fell right on my knee. If you did not know this is your FYI. If you're old as fuck, you can bruise a bone and it hurts just as much as a sprain. And so I just knew I fucked up my knee. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have knee surgery. I can't stretch my leg. I go get an x-ray, all that shit. And they were like, yeah, I just think it's a bruised bone. It's going to take 6 weeks. And I'm like, what? But it literally took 6 weeks for me to be able to walk right again. And all I did was trip up the steps and fall on my knee.
But that's the part where we be fucked up with, like, as regular people, like when we watch football and basketball and be like, oh, you know, he's not going to be out for the season. It looks like it's a bone bruise. We'll update you on the status for the next game. You know, as the time goes on, it looks like he's out again. Oh, he's out. And then niggas like, motherfucker soft as shit. Like he won't fucking play. Like motherfucker, you ever had that injury? Like when you
Yo,
have certain injuries, like a groin injury or like a hamstring, like stuff like that, and you go to do regular stuff, and now you're asking somebody to run at like 4.2 seconds, like down the field,
not happening.
tackle somebody. Situations where you're like, yeah, it's not worth it. Like you
It's
might
not
want to
happening.
sit, like,
It's
bro,
not
you might want to
happening.
sit this out. I mean, they do have like they get shot up and certain chemicals and stuff to kind of like allow them to. But just imagine the pain after the game, like when all that shit went off.
And then my ass trying to be grown, still trying to fuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
It just is not working. I'm like, we just want to do like, just let me lay on my stomach and you just want to spread the cheeks because I cannot like getting on top hurt, being on the bottom hurt. Like my knee was just fucked up. So you can't even fuck with a fucked up knee.
That shit is the worst. Like I remember when I had I didn't even have crutches then. I partially tore my ACL one time, but I actually had a meniscus tear and I got surgery. So when I got surgery on a meniscus tear, I remember like being on crutches, like, and then I was like, all right, well, I can't really lay down and all this other stuff because my knee was all wrapped up and I had just had surgery and I had to hit it from the back, like, standing up at the edge of the bed.
Crutches?
I ain't had no crutches. Like at that point, the crutches was like in the other
Oh,
room.
I'm like, that is the next level, yo.
I'm standing up on one leg like a straight dog, like like slide back, right there.
That is,
slide.
Yo, I hate when a guy says that. I'll be like, slide back.
If you're standing up
triggered.
if you're standing up at the edge of the bed, you got to get that thing right there.
I'm triggered because I have learned that for me moving forward, like my old bed, I had the frame, the box spring, the mattress. And then if we were trying to do doggy with me in that position, my ass is so big, like they're tiptoeing in the pussy, right? Because it's so high, like my butt is up so high. So I got a new bed. So he's like, these are tall niggas. Yeah, these are tall niggas like standing on their toes trying to stroke.
Definitely be on your tippy toes. And I've hurt my ankles several times where the ankle was already rolled. And it was just like, I came out of there like, I'm sitting there like an hour later, like, why the fuck my ankle hurt like that?
That literally happened. I had to go get this nigga ice and shit because he was tiptoeing in the pussy. So now,
the fellas that's listening, I know if your stroke game right, if you've been on them tippy toes, banging, and all of a sudden, like, you feel like you rolled the ankle. If you've been through this, like,
I'll give you a clap.
It's real. Like, everybody know that's like a important position.
It is. It really is. So now, like, my new bed, it's low profile. So it's just the bed and a mattress because I don't need a box spring. And so when I first got it, he was like, oh, this is perfect. It's like the perfect height. And I was like, wow. He was like, I don't got to be on motherfucking tiptoes no more.
Yo, that shit is real. That shit is real.
For me, I think it was eye-opening because I really just thought, like, nigga, you 6'3", your feet are firmly planted. He's like, but yeah, my groin is down here, but your ass on that bed is like in my stomach. And I'm like, got it. So yes, sex injuries, or not even sex injuries.
Injuries will affect your sex life.
Yes,
that's a fact. 100%. Like, you will literally be sitting there like, oh no, I'm good to go. And then next thing you know, you be over there in pain, like hurting, especially like that groin injury. Oh my God. Like,
I can't say I had a groin injury.
Tearing your groin is just like bad. I mean, it's the spot right in between that connects your thighs to like the rest of you. Like now, down in there. It's just
it's a muscle there. It's a little joint area. It's a lot of connectivity.
It's a lot of connectivity.
It's like a rotor cuff almost within your hip.
And then you can't really like open your legs up. You can't really move too fast. Like, that's rough, man.
It is. So I commend that part. The things about getting old that nobody tells you, that literally sleeping wrong, cuddling wrong, Stepping wrong can fuck your whole shit up. Having the wrong pillows can fuck you up.
You had one night where you just like, remember we were younger, and you like talk on the phone all night, and you just get up and go to school the next day or go to work. Now you do some shit like that, you be fucked up for a week. Like,
yeah, you gotta plan it. Like, all right, if I go out and go hard tonight.
No, I'm just talking about just talking on the phone. Like you look up and be like, you look up like, damn, we was on the phone till like 3 a.m. Like we really getting to know each other. You come back off of that night, you get on the phone with her at 9:30 the next night. Like, all right, like she like, damn, we talked to 3:30. He didn't even answer the phone. Like, look, babe, I was asleep. I took 2 naps at work.
You be fucked up. It's amazing. It is really amazing. Damn.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
As I'm moving, look, I'll be 38 this year. So yeah, it's real.
Oh, you're getting there. You're getting there.
I'm almost 40.
I'll be 43 this year. This is crazy. It's like happening so fast.
I feel like you just turned 40.
I feel like I did too. It's crazy.
I feel like you just turned 40. Shit.
Just turned 40. Like,
are you having another sausage fest birthday?
Man, all my birthday parties at this point are sausage fest. I don't even have no hoes to invite. Niggas be like,
it be just niggas.
Right.
Married niggas, single niggas. Nigga, it just be niggas.
Like, you can't go through, like, that's another thing, like, you gotta be careful about. So, there's something I want to talk to you about before. Like, when you go back and start texting and calling people that you had, like, relationships with before, you fuck up everything. Like, you cannot go back to start inviting those people. Because it's like, if you're desperate to promote, you're going to start inviting those people, and it just creates a problem. So, that's why I can't be a promoter anymore. I was doing a happy hour on Thursdays. Oh, yeah. And it was like 3 people from my timeline, like, hey, I'm gonna come through. But it was like, in my mind, like, I know if I invite her, she can bring all 6 of her friends. Like, if I invite her, she can bring all her line sisters. If I invite her, then you like, nah, that shit gonna fuck up my life. Like, today, Justin posted, you said, text him, I miss your dick, and fuck up his healing process. And I was like, yo, that is toxic, because that right there, that's not something you should do. You shouldn't do that.
I wish that I could do that with somebody, but all of the people that I would even possibly consider doing that with, it's not even worth the anguish on myself to fuck him up, right? So, yeah, I'm with you. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because look, you send that to the wrong person, and they be like, wow, miss your pussy, or don't even respond. You be like, now you really pissed. Like, damn.
Do you know how hurt I would be? No, I know somebody I could send it to who I would get the perfect response. But you know how hurt I would be if I sent some shit like that to a nigga and it was just like, please stop texting me. Or like,
like, I'm married now. Like, please leave me.
I would be so hurt. Like, damn. But I do feel like I still have one, a solid one that I could text that to, and shit could pop off. The rest not worth my time. Yeah.
So my thing is like, I just don't even want to reminisce on nothing in the past. You gotta just let it go. You gotta let it go.
Forward.
Yeah. If you reminisce and think about like what something used to be, you eventually either gonna go back to it or you're gonna slip up and find yourself in some serious shit that you ain't no business in.
I fuck with that. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned this because you had sent this to me in a DM. Like, this is a topic I want to do in a future episode. And I think we could parlay into it. You were saying you wanted to talk about energy and chakras and if that shit was real. And you had a very strong stance on it.
I think it's bullshit. I think a lot of women stand behind all of this. You know, they doing sage and they looking at chakras and all that other stuff. Like, them motherfucking chakras ain't tell you I was fucking nobody else. Like, you thought, like, you over there praying to these little stones in your closet in the morning and thinking everything's going great. Like, wasn't like the God of healing supposed to step in and tell you start now? Like, that shit don't work.
So here's the thing. I'm somebody who dabbles in it.
I think all of y'all do now. It's not all of y'all. It's a lot.
No, I would say
It's
a
a lot
lot.
though. The
I would
full
say
moons. I be seeing like posts about like I'm a moon child. Like, girl, you ain't never talked about no moon. Like, sit your ass down.
I will say I do feel like a lot of this has become, if they don't practice it, to your point on Instagram, these very kitschy, slick posts that people just share to their Insta story gives off the appearance that people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I think most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to that stuff. And I can go on my bookshelf right now and pull out mad books where I will. At one point in time, I was so fascinated by it because it was like, wow, it was not as popular. But now I do feel like you can go to fucking Nordstrom and get a rose quartz for $40, right? That wasn't the case before. I do think there is, I don't want to say the word real. What's the word I'm looking for? I think there are great tools for the right thing.
Okay. Well, educate me because you know more. And I think like you probably can like educate me. But I just seen it being like a popular thing, and I thought it. So this is my stance. And this is
okay. Go ahead. So
it's not just chakras. It's chakras. It's waist beads. It's it's a lot of different things, right? Where I feel like what makes women like wonder why we can just move on from them, or like what we, why we just like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women are doing the same exact thing, wearing their hair the same way, dressing the same way. Everybody got to get a waist bead. Everybody got to get, this new hot thing. Like, be different. So it's like when you do what the same girl did and the other girls and the other 5 girls on Instagram on my timeline that I think are attractive, all y'all look alike, y'all interchangeable. Like, do something to not be interchangeable. Like, just be different. Like, be the one like, no, I don't do that. No, I don't have waist beads. No, I don't, wear those shoes just because everybody wear. Like, that's where I'm
okay, so you're saying like to you now it's becoming a trend, like a hairstyle, etc. Yes.
It's mainstream.
Okay.
Like where some of y'all may have been doing it for a while and really understand it, but then it's a lot of fakes and phonies that just jump out there like, oh yeah, is that a black black stone? Do you know what that means? That means shut up.
No, okay, I can follow your point because I was having a conversation where I feel like we're really reaching a point, and I hate blaming social media on everything, but it's just so easy to do. I just feel like because we see everything, it's like groupthink in a different form with social media. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, we're reaching a point where, to your point, not is everybody dressing the same and doing the same hairstyles. People literally look the same. Everybody got the same looks, the lips, the butt, the stomach. Like everybody looks exactly the same now. And so when you look
and post the same thing, when y'all post one of those things in y'all Insta story, and it starts off with like, my worth is not defined in my pussy, like something like that. Like it'll start the day with like some
affirmation. Yes.
An affirmation or something like that. 50 people that posted the same fucking story. Like, oh my God. How many times a day am I going to see this one fucking thing? It's supposed to be so fucking uplifting and everybody wants to post it. Like, come on.
Maybe everybody was moved by it. I'm just saying, but no, okay. I do feel like there is it's kind of like copy, paste, repeat with everything. So yeah. I feel your sentiment on some of that, but I will say chakras, energy, that shit is real. I thought you were going to go more so on some bullshit ass soul ties, because that I don't believe in, but
you don't believe in soul ties?
No.
So you don't believe when you sleep with people, like you connect with them in a different type of way?
I do believe that there's an energy in that connection, but I don't think we're so fucking tied in a knot that I can, like, I don't believe it. I don't believe in all of that. Because I think the way people always say soul tie, to me, it's been like described always in a sexual connotation. But I'm like, if you're saying that it's a bond so deep, I feel like I've had a stronger soul tie to my best friend than any nigga I fucked.
Right.
So why is it? I just feel like it's some bullshit religious dogma that's like put so women don't fuck niggas. Like they don't fuck a lot of niggas.
Well,
your soul is tied. Like, is it?
Well,
is it? Because how come that nigga, my soul not tied to him? How come he get to? So that shit, I just really don't.
I get that, but I think for us as men, we get told that a lot. I think that initially when we hear that soul tie stuff, like it's to kind of like scare us off. So it's like, all these women you've been sleeping with, you are now taking on part of their mental, you're taking on a part of their personality. So you was fucking that toxic woman, now you're toxic, like stuff like that. So, I mean, I remember vividly, like my mother telling me that shit like 20 years ago. Like, if you sleep with all these women, you are taking a part of someone's soul and body to you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's what's up.
It's cool.
This was before soul snatching came out. Like, oh, that's what's up. Like, I snatched that soul. Like, that's another soul I got. Got a closet full of souls. No, I really do feel like at a certain point when you are exchanging energy and connecting yourself with somebody who you're having sex with, who is not on the right vibration, like, as y'all would say, I think what happens is you can become disjointed from like what your beliefs are, who you're supposed to be by dealing with somebody who's not on that same wavelength. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with that. But I feel like that happens with people that you not fucking, right? Like if you're friends with people who are robbing and stealing, then you might get caught up in that shit too, right? Or you trying to lose weight and do whatever, but you hang out with people who eat at Burger King every day.
Drink fucking bourbon every night, smoke cigars every day. It gets really hard. The company you keep speaks for you. But when you're laying down with somebody, and y'all literally like in a relationship where y'all constantly exchanging energy, you can pick up bad ways from somebody. I feel like you can.
Yeah, because his dirty dick gave me, itchy coochie or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Not like that. I'm just talking about just somebody's negativity, their ways. Certain things can just kind of.
But I feel like those things can happen fully clothed. Just like how somebody walk in the room and the whole energy zap out of there, you'd be like, this nigga, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
That's a great point. So
I'm just like, it happens in
real
life.
We disagree that energy can be exchanged
at any moment.
At any moment.
Yeah, any moment I think it happens.
But the people putting too much into the soul tie?
I feel like they put too much in the soul tie. I feel like you said, it was used to kind of like, don't you sleep around. They do it with women. I think it's like.
I think they do it with men too.
Yeah, I didn't think about how you said it. I could see it, but it's just like, I feel like if you're responsible, I
think people use sex as a weapon in general. Like it's just a whole thing where people, once they feel like they got somebody and they got them like overly sexualized and like, like I think men too. I can't say women.
So how would you say men use sex as a weapon?
I think men use it like where they have women where they know like, all right, this situation is like close to being over. Like I gotta go fuck her. Like once I fuck her, now
it's like manipulation a bit.
Yeah. So it's like you can control them with the dick. So it's like a woman not really always in a position where it's like, I want to go get some new dick, or I get some new dick and it's not the same, or that helps you out. She go get some new dick, but she used the way you fucked her and she missing you a little bit. And then that one text message or you pop over and now you burn her ass up again. it's like she right back to where she was at. Like, all right, so if we going to start doing this again, are you going to be consistent this time? Because the last time you hit, and I ain't see you for 2 weeks, and you want to go back to that bullshit. So you come back over. You come back over again Friday night, because this was Tuesday. Now it's Friday night, and she feeling like he about to turn that corner, and then she don't see you again for 2 more weeks.
That's not funny.
But she fiending because you got her right where you want her, because, you know, based off of like where she at, it's going to take her a while to find somebody that's going to dick her down the same way. And it's not so much like, even like I was explaining to somebody, you feelings and all of that stuff and everything that you have going make that pussy so good. So, right, you like, oh my God, this motherfucking pussy so good. Y'all like have like a breakup or like all of a sudden like start going through some shit. That pussy be regular as a motherfucker. You be like, yo, fuck that shit. That shit wasn't even all that. But mentally, when everything is good and y'all vibing and y'all on the same page, I mean, the pussy go up. Like, it just go up. It can just be regular as fuck. But you care about her. Like, y'all kind of like got a good vibe.
Yay for caring.
Everything just start like shooting up on that trajectory to where now, like, oh, this bitch got some pussy. Like, then you get mad at her, and then y'all like kind of go through some shit. And you're like, basic ass pussy, fucking fuck her. Like, you really be like, really at that point, like real critical of the pussy.
Critical of the pussy.
Same way. So let's reverse it, right? So you're getting dick down real good, right? Now all of a sudden they want some toxic shit. He wants some fuckboy shit. Like, you caught him in a lie, or he ain't coming through like he said. And then all of a sudden you like in a low moment and you like, you know what? Fuck it, just come over here. And in your mind, you just kind of like, all right, whatever. And then it's like, what's going on? You like, this shit ain't even hitting like that. This overrated ass dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you put him up on a pedestal, and now it's back to just being regular, right? Because when we end something, our senses and everything get heightened to believe that it's the best, or like this shit is so good. And I'm saying all this to say, like, sisters out there, brothers out there, be strong. Get ye behind me, Satan. Don't let somebody keep a strong hold over you. You are mentally making the dick or the pussy better than what it is. That new person, once you develop the chemistry with them, can get you to that level. It's just that you have to get that out of your mind. You are now pigeonholing yourself to this one dick because you feel like there's not no better dick out there. You don't want to meet nobody new. You don't want to let a new nigga fuck you raw. All of that's going to happen. Just pray about it.
It's so funny because that definitely does happen. Because I've done a circle back on a dick just because it was like, I wasn't putting no energy out trying to get a replacement dick. So it's like, let me just call this nigga.
Yep.
And literally in the middle of it, I'm like, I was so mad at myself. I was so mad.
Like, I'm telling you, I've done situations where like I done drove an hour. Like, I ain't seen you. Like, come on. Like, you know, I miss you. Like, and then they like, all right. And then in your mind, you like, yeah, boy. You done drove an hour. You get over there. You be like, this ain't it. This ain't even the same sandwich. Like, you bought Popeyes in the county versus buying Popeyes in the city. Like, you bought McDonald's. You bought McDonald's on
Franklin Street,
Franklin and Warwick, versus McDonald's on Frederick Avenue. Frederick got the best fucking McDonald's. Right off the Beltway, right there, Frederick Avenue in Catonsville. That shit be blazing. One time I hit the wall. It's like if you ever there, right? It's a little wall, like a little column. I'm eating my fries and I'm driving and I looked up and was like, boom. And I hit the wall and I looked back. I got out the car, looked in the car, and the faggy in the drive-thru was laughing like, and I was like, fuck, it's so funny, bitch. And I was so mad because I literally had to call that shit into work. Like, I just wasn't paying attention. I was eating them fucking hot ass fries. Like, maybe I needed an alignment because my shit was like going off to the side.
Yeah, like how the fuck you do that? Okay,
I was in my bag.
Nothing tops McDonald's hot French fries and a Coke.
Nothing. Nah, a milkshake.
Oh, I can't play the rest with the dairy. I can't play that risk game. I can only do a milkshake or some type of milk-based product if I know I'm going straight home. If I'm out in the streets, give me that strong ass Coke to burn your throat.
Yo, when you all have, like, I ain't had a soda in so long. I've been drinking so much water these last 3 weeks. I've been locked in on the gym like every day, like back locked in 90-day run. Like I'm about to kill it. Like I definitely got to get my weight down, get my blood pressure, cholesterol, all the shit that happen when you get old as fuck. Doctor giving you all these warnings, pre-diabetic, and what have you been doing? Like you eating Reese's cups 2 a.m, drinking. So I'm like, I got to cut all that shit out. So I try not to eat past 8, but
look at you.
Yo,
I feel you.
I have not had no fast food, and you just like fucked my whole head up because yo, you get a cold ginger ale, a cold ginger ale. I mean, you only had to have nothing. Whether you be like,
that shit hit. It's funny. Like, I definitely, I got to get myself together because this last month I've definitely been like grief binging on sugar. As my skin, I'm trying to get it back in order because it showed on all of my skin. That was what did it for me. I'm vanity, but
well, condolences.
Thank you, but yeah, no fucking Cokes and ginger ales and sugar. I'm like, I gotta cut it out, but nothing like a nice cold pop. Ain't that what Sweet Brown said?
Ain't nobody got that shit.
That shit.
I was coming to get me a cold pop.
I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a pop." Yo, where is she? Did her barbecue sauce line still popping?
I didn't even know she had one.
I think she parlayed it into something.
That's
Didn't
crazy.
all them people? Because it was the other one that was on the news.
Yo, real quick before we go, because I know we're getting close to that time.
Look at you knowing. Come on.
Yo, Antonio Brown is such a clown, yo.
Oh, that's that football nigga.
Right. And so did Keisha Cole really have his initials tattooed on her?
Listen, sister girl been struggling for love for decades. Like,
right. That's what I was like.
I need her
from Jeezy to
I need her to go to therapy because the Pistons aren't firing there. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, the whole AB situation. He's such a clown. Like, he is such a clown. Like, he be with Yeezy, yay, Kanye. Kanye had the Ronald McDonald boots on yesterday. Like, I don't care who made them. I don't care how much they cost. He looked like a damn clown.
That was ridiculous.
But they hang together. Like, him, Justin, and AB hang together. LaBoy. Like, them three be everywhere together. But it's like, AB is such a clown. Like, can we just leave him where he's at?
Did he ever get re-signed again?
No. Like, the whole taking his jersey and stuff off in the middle of the field. You know, he's done so much stuff. Like, he's just such a dumbass. He's such a bad person. Like, when he got paid and they gave him the bonus in New England, he was about to get his bonus like 10 million or something like that, right? And they was like, don't text the lady who he like pulled his dick out on. She was like painting a mural or something in his house, and he like walked over with a towel on it with his dick out, like, and then moved the towel and shoulder. So he texted her like, "Yeah, bitch," something. And he ended up getting cut right before he got like this $8 million bonus or $10 million bonus. Like, it just stupid shit like that. Like, why would you even text her when they already took care of it? It's been settled. Like, you just can't leave well enough alone. He went on Facebook Live when the coach was giving a like post-game speech, and like fans were like, "Oh, he went live." Like, we're like live in the locker room with him. Like, that's like totally against. He's just a dick.
No, he is. But I'm like, Keisha Cole is a dummy. Like, because I think I read that they couldn't. I was like, how did they even hook up? She did a feature on his album, and I'm like, he dropped an album,
right?
Like, girl, why? Like, what are you doing?
People was downloading his music the night he took the shirt off and walked off the field. Like, oh, he just put out a solo song. It's not that bad. And I'm like, yo, come on. Why would you even download that? Like, why?
Yeah, I'm like Keisha. But I've never been a Keisha Cole fan. I just want the record to reflect.
I did. I used to like her a lot. So when she first came out and she had that red hair, she was like
Red
walking
hair, I
through the
remember.
neighborhood. That was when I had like a thing for like little like hood boppers. Like it was just something about that round the way fillet that just like turned me
That's
on.
what you like. That was your
That's
flavor.
back at that point in time. And I went to, I can't think of the name of the club, but she was performing and there was about 15 people there. And
15. Well, you
yeah,
said when she first started.
yeah, it was like a Sunday night. Like they had like, oh, Keisha Cole. And I knew her song. Like it was like her walking through a neighborhood singing this song. It was like one of her first
That was
singles.
that song with Kanye.
Yep. And she was performing that and she was drinking Remy. And I was just like, look at this little hood bitch. Like I love this little bitch. And so I was like the song stopped like at the end, and I was like, Keisha, I love you. She was like, I love you too, boo. And I was like, I could fuck this bitch. I know I could. I know I could.
The only song of hers I really fuck with is the one with her and Missy, and I think Little Kim is on it.
Oh yeah, like a whole like compilation song.
Yeah,
See,
like,
I can't stand Missy. I can't stand Missy Elliot. Like everything about her just doesn't sit well with me. Her look.
I
So
knew that was the first thing you were gonna say. My eyes got
yo,
big and on the video.
just her whole look just kind of turned me off. And I had this girl, right? So I was dating this chick, and I don't care if she know anyway, but I was dating this chick, right? And I was like, oh, happy birthday. Like we going horseback ride. So we like driving up 95 and like we get like halfway up 95 and I'm like, oh, reach in the glove box and grab them directions for me. That's when niggas were MapQuest. That's how long ago.
I was like, God damn, nigga.
Right. So this is literally like 20 years ago. Literally almost 20 years ago. And I'm like, grab that MapQuest, whatever, right? So she grabbed the MapQuest, but it wasn't really a MapQuest, it was an envelope. And I was like, it's in there. And when she opened it, it was a birthday card. And I had $1,000 cash in it, right? So I'm like, happy birthday, we going to King of Prussia. Like, oh my God, my baby taking me shopping. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, fuck it. It ain't nothing. You young and dumb. So you spending that cash. So, we on our way to the mall. We get to the mall. She's buying like terrible stuff. Like I wanted to take her shopping. Because she couldn't dress. So I was trying to be like influential in the things she was buying and put her on with some new shit. Like, oh, these like like Citizens of Humanity, like, oh, these 7 jeans, like, oh, they hot, like, oh, 150 for some jeans. I'm not doing that. We gets down to South Street and she bought this fucking like pink or blue fucking Adidas sweatsuit. If this bitch ain't look like Missy Elliot one day when she walked out the house to go to my buddy cookout, I was mad as shit. Like, where are you going? Like, what the fuck? Like, with them fucking shell heads and Adidas sweatshirt. She's like, you don't like my sweatsuit? I'm like, no, bitch, you can't wear that. Like, you cannot wear that to the fucking cookout. Like, I'm that nigga. Like, if you going somewhere with me and I don't like what you got on, I will fake sick. I will, like, come up with a reason. I will change the location. Like, I will find a way to abort the plan because you're not going to embarrass me. You will not embarrass me by the way you look.
So that's why you hate Missy Elliott, because a girl almost embarrassed you at your friend's cookout.
And to this day, in my mind, every time I see Missy Elliott, I think about her in that fucking sweatsuit. I hated it. It was like the straight leg Adidas ones too, like where it just came straight down and like almost like they didn't taper. You know what I mean? Like shit tapered now. Yeah. So now, like, you throw a little Adidas sweatsuit on now, it's cute. But back then, the shit was like straight. Like, yo, if you don't look like one of the, if you don't look like a mixture between Missy Elliott, Reverend Run, like you got on some breakaway fucking basketball pants. Like, if you don't get the fuck out of here talking about you going somewhere with me, like, fuck no. I'm not going nowhere with me looking like that, wasting my fucking money.
That's not where I thought that story was going about why you hate Missy Elliott.
Me, I'm super fly. I cannot stand that shit. I can't stand the rain.
Missy's iconic.
It's my window. I can't stand
Yo, I fucking hate you. Missy Misdemeanor.
Yo, next time, listen. Soon as the state of Maryland passed the marijuana laws, right? We're gonna get some edibles, and we're gonna get some edibles, and we just gonna do like a live show, but it's like
Instagram,
like somewhere where we're like all of a sudden people can tell when they kicked in, like it's like
deal,
like
100% deal.
The edibles just kicked in, like we just
100% deal.
We're just laughing, wilding. People gonna be like, "Oh my god!" They like, yeah.
Oh well, when this episode drops, since you mentioned the live show, tickets for the New York live show went on sale today as you're listening to this. So Brian will be there. We're hope to have Mecca, who I feel like she has been on this podcast, not as much as Brian and Sheikah, but like she probably neck and neck with Kenny. So it'll be a good show up in New York. The show is at Caveat, which is in Manhattan on the Lower East Side. It's a matinee show. We'll probably hit a rooftop afterwards. Look at this.
Lower East Side. East Side.
I like
East Side. Jim Jones.
So we'll be there. Tickets drop. You can head to booniebreakdown.com/live. Get your tickets. You can come and see Brian.
I'll be there.
We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I might bring one of the fellas up with me that weekend. Because it's gonna be a Saturday to a Sunday. I don't think I'm staying like the whole weekend. So I think I'm just come up for the show and come back. So yeah, it'll be cool.
That sounds good. So get your tickets and we'll have a good time. But no, we are going to do that edible shit because that would actually be quite. Because for me too, we were in Houston and I had a refreshment and my friend was like, bitch, you move in slow motion. Like in your mind, you think you're going so fast, but she was like, you were like, hand me the water. And then she was like, you were just sitting there laughing at yourself for like 20 minutes. So no, I'm down for that. I think that would be really fun.
Well, let's do it. Let's get these live shows popping. You know, let's get everything going. It's Baltimore show first, right?
Yep. Baltimore is July 23rd and then New York, August 13th.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So, all right. Well, thanks, Brian.
All right. You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
All right, that is it for this week's episode. I want to thank the homie, the problematic fave, Brian, for doing this episode. Again, I want to thank him for being our guest at the Baltimore and New York shows. So all of you guys who be in my DMs all the time about it, pull up to the show and you can tell them in person. Also, be sure to support our sponsor, Dean Products. Use the code Booney10 to save on your purchase over at dame.com. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited for the live shows and we're going to have a really, really good time. So I really, really hope you sell us out. I really hope y'all sell us out because I'm really about to get on y'all nerves with promo now. But if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or any apps that you listen to your favorites on. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You might just hear a review on the next episode. Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. And don't make these pretty images for nothing, okay? Have a dope ass week. Stay healthy, safe, and sane. Buy your fucking tickets for Booney Live. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Namaste. Until next time.